What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Groovy Wagon back at you again with another low quality video. Now, today we're going to be bringing you a video that I was going to try to do earlier, but I couldn't do it because the audio was messed up. So we're going to shoot it now at 8:11 p.m. on my cousin's birthday. Okay, so this was the scariest fucking dream I've had in ages, by far. Because it wasn't necessarily the visuals itself, it was the visuals combined with the fact that I had an overall feeling of, complete helplessness, and, it was, a really pretty freaky dream, honestly. But this is how it went. So it began when my dad bought me this video game. He didn't actually buy it for me, during the dream, and he didn't, hand it to me. But I just had it, and I knew that he bought it for me. I'm assuming it was for Christmas or whatever, but it was kind of, dated, honestly. And I was in, a warehouse's basement type place, where there were these bars connecting, the concrete floor and the ceiling, all around. And it was pitch black if you looked far out, but there was a single light bulb dangling above my current setup. And yeah, it was an old boxy TV with an old Xbox and a worn out black office chair. So yeah, I put the disc into the Xbox, and it skipped all that home screen loading, all that jazz, and went straight into the meat of it. And for whatever reason, it's a floating house on an island in the middle of deep space. I don't know why, but there was a panicked woman alone in a room upstairs during it. And I was basically role-playing as them for some reason. It was a kind of a smallish room with no furnishings whatsoever. The closet and door was painted white. It was pretty spooky, ominous. Had that, that light brown carpet thing. Really ominous looking room with all dark and shit. So I was really spooked out for some reason. I was like, hey, see this closet? I'm gonna go in it. I'll hide from whatever I'm spooked of, and that'll be the end of it. And so I went in, closed the doors, and I was like, yeah, I'm such a genius. Then I looked to my right, and I see an outline of a face, and this is a gentleman right here. Now, this is the third time that this son of a bitch has fucking invaded my nightmares between my entire life, even though I've never seen an alien movie, and my only real physical experience with it has been that one game at Adventurelanding, all those years ago. So, it cuts to a different player, or character, in, the foyer type place. I'm only assuming that person just got murked, but everyone's just sort of chilling, nothing that big. Then I cut up to another guy upstairs, and, running around the halls, and, you can see the alien type thing, kind of trailing him. Cuts away, he's murked as well. For some reason, now the people are kind of, uneasy, hey, wait a minute, what are we doing floating on an island in space? I don't like this. And, yeah, they start to panic, run around. People are going off in their own little groups. I roleplay as one of those guys going off in their own little group, going down to, the basement, which wasn't even really a basement. It was kind of a ledge out into the deep void, something you see in, Minecraft, The Walls, or whatever. So, it cuts to Andrew Luck, the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. I have no idea why, but it's 10 to 15 minutes after everyone kind of got spooked and dipped. And if you've ever played Fallout 74, or I think if there's any Fallout game, I believe that will have this, that blue jumpsuit thing you get, when you just leave the vault. Think of that, but Andrew Luck's wearing it, and he's staring at a wall on a floating island in space. It goes to a flashback of him in like a Little League soccer game, right? But the opposing team, it looks like Pablo Picasso dressed them because they were wearing this weird purple oversized poncho type thing, and they had like this yellowish orange type pyramid thing on their heads, and they're just sort of running around and kicking the ball, not even trying to get in the goal. And you could just hear them going, like, narrating over the flashback, like, I wish we'd thrown that game, otherwise we wouldn't be in this situation. It's kind of weird. I don't really expect winning a Little League soccer game would determine whether or not you're going to be stuck in the middle of space with a murderous alien or not, but hey, whatever floats your boat, I guess. So it cuts back to him staring at the wall, and just cuts to someone else. But here's the thing about Mr. Luck. Usually when I cut from one character to another, usually it's because they can presumably die in that situation, because I can visibly see the alien, and like it was kind of my decision to just dart away from them. However, I didn't really see the alien, so if you want to be technical, he could have survived. I don't know if he did, because it didn't really happen, but you never know. Anyway, so I was another character up above, and I was still running around the halls while the motherfucker was following me from hall to hall, and you could sort of just see him. But here's the thing. I was, like, with this random lady, right? And I was right next... She was standing, like, under one of those vents on top of the walls. And this motherfucker... I'm pretty sure you can't do this in the actual movie, because that'd be way too overpowered. He just sort of, like, dissipate, like... It was like a gas coming out of the vent. Spawned next to them. Like, just completely murked them. And just dipped back into the vents. Just leaving me there. Which I thought was weird, but, like, it really spooked me at the time. Because, like... It sounds funny in retrospect, but when you're actually living through something like that... Dude, it is pretty metal, my guy. So, after that, I was, like... Dreamy was pretty tired of this shit game, and I was like, you know what, Dad? I love you, but I fucking hate this game. I don't give a shit what you say. I'm quitting. I turned it off, but for some reason it was like downloading on every single other device I owned in that dream. It was kind of like a malware type thing. I was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Ah. But yeah, I ended up getting sucked back into the game because it was literally downloading and revving up on every single device within 100 miles. So when I get back into the game, for whatever reason, Stewie from Family Guy is in one of those, you know those, like, what are they called? Like those setups kind of thing. It's like a bunch of cabinets going around those TVs. I believe they were more popular, like, in the late 2000s, early 2010s. He was in, like, one of those cabinets near, like, the bottom of the TV. And you can see the TV. He was just doing, like, this slideshow of nature scenes, kind of like if you, like, Idol on Netflix or something. It flashes to darkness and comes back, right? Now, Stewie was chill before, but now he's kind of, like, a little on edge. And, like, you look at the TV, and it looks like someone, like, smashed it with a hammer because there's, like, a huge crack, like, in the top right. And it's, like, staticking a bit, but you can still see, like, the nature in the background. It cuts to black again. Then it comes back. And now, like, the shelf on the top left of the TV is kind of, like, knocked over and all scratched up. And now the TV is completely static. And Stewie looks like he's tripping. He's just freaking out in that little cubby thing. Cuts to black again. Comes back. He's gone. It looks like he was forced out. Pretty spooky. I don't even watch Family Guy. I don't know why he appeared in my dream. Then it pans to the right. And there was this construction worker of Hispanic origin who said, "My name's José." That was pretty deep, man. And sort of just... He was, like, on, like, a grappler or whatever the hell they're called. Like a grappling hook on the side of the wall. And kind of just went through a portal through the wall. And for some reason, I ended up playing as him. But it was up near the top area where, like, that spooky alien was kind of, like, up at the most time. And, yeah, basically I was just running around, really getting freaked out because this spooky motherfucker was like around every single corner and every single room. It was dark. It was scary. I was scared. I wanted that dream to end. And then my alarm woke me up at 6:14 in the morning when it was pitch black outside, snowing heavily, and here I was, fresh out of this spooky-ass dream. I was tripping, man. I was Stewie in that situation, man. I got the alarm. I hit snooze, and I just sort of laid there in bed. And I was like, dude, that was fucking scary as hell. But, I mean, even if it didn't really, like, sound that spooky, like, just in words, you gotta think. This dude right here, yeah, he looks cool right now, but, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't really want to be, like, on a floating island in the middle of space with this motherfucker on board. Because that dude, if you see that dude, you know something's about to go down. Especially if, you know, there's legit no way to get back to Earth because you're in deep space. Really spooky shit, man. It's just like delaying the inevitable, running around. Yeah. I mean, now that I think about it, it's kind of spookier in the dream. Because, like, you know, Dream You, obviously, you know, is fake. But Dream You was like, this is all real, man. It's all real. This dude's out to kill me. So, yeah, that was a spooky dream I had. Yeah. So, if you liked this video, Groovy Wagon Nation, remember to go to my Planet Minecraft page and download all the skins and give it all diamonds. Thank you, and have a good night, my man.